Healing through clearing the spirit-mind-body connection with Kaipacha, who everybody knows, and myself, Fateh. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a really old healing system. And we have records that it's about 6,000 years old. So that puts us back, pretty much to the time of the Egyptians. If anyone knows the history about India, in northern India, there was a place called the Indus Valley where people actually supposedly lived in harmony, did yoga, meditated as a group every day. And they developed a holistic system of how you are completely in flow with your mind, spirit, and body, okay? So in those days, of course, science and spirituality weren't separate like they are today. Those of you who listened to Kaipacha's report, which I really loved this time, talking about the polarities. We're in a time where we have separated things completely. And that has caused a lot of people to have illnesses and to be totally out of balance. And what Ayurveda does is it looks at the microcosm of the body and the macrocosm, which is the universe, where we fit in astrology, our view of the macrocosm, which is closest to us and affecting us the most in the solar system, in total unity, right? So we talked about these mirrors. It's incredible. If any of you have heard of the analogy of Indra's net, the goddess that spreads her web out into all universes in all dimensions. And everywhere the net crosses is a reflection of all the other universes in all other directions. And Yogi Bhajan, who was one of the most famous gurus who brought Kundalini Yoga to the United States and then to all the world, he explained that each person is in fact on Indra's net, reflecting through the chakras, everything. And so it's trying to come back to that connectivity, which the Dalai Lama also says is the primary pillar of Buddhism, that if you really understand that, then you are naturally compassionate because you do realize the connectivity. And that's what we're speaking about here today. So Ayurveda completely reconditions your consciousness to go beyond these negative behaviors that everyone has because of our conditioning in this polar world that we found ourselves in, right? So in Ayurveda, the main thing that we need to understand is that all of nature, including ourselves, are composed of the 5 elements. And the 5 elements in Ayurveda is ether or space, air, fire, water, and earth. And the way our body is composed of these elements is called the dosha. It's like how we are composed. And the dosha shows your flow. And all of your systems like digestion and elimination, circulation, respiration, all of that. And if something's out of balance, physically, emotionally, or spiritually, we can see that in the domination of doshas. Oops, I'm gonna have to go back. Sorry. Okay, so when the Ayurvedic doctor, and these people have been trained many long years to really understand this and lots of experience with hundreds of people, especially in India. They're looking at the body types, which are called Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And I'll go into the details of that in a moment. And of course, all the combinations, because we're talking about elements here. If your combination, your dosha domination, has imbalance, we'll see it right away. And I'm going to explain how we can see that as well. Eventually, this imbalance will be manifested as disease because the body's out of flow. And the rhythms that are important, sleep, sex, food, what we do every day, what we do every season, and also the transits of the planets. So we have to look at all of this. Okay. So going back to the doshas one by one specifically, so you can get an idea of what we're talking about. Through thousands of years, we've made these observations. And I personally have gathered my notes from the doctors in India, from books that I've read, and all kind of stuff that I've learned about over the years, and put these tables together. So you won't find these in any books. This is my own creation, okay? But you'll see similar things, of course. The vata is a person who is dominated with ether and air. Their physical look is slim and usually tall. Their speech is quick, okay, and they're very talkative. You can tell I have some vata in me, right? Okay. Skin, usually dry and not so smooth, can be kind of rough, even like sandpaper. The hair and the eyes, thin, dry, straight, small, and brown. Sleep, a lot of insomnia here, nightmares, and also flying is a theme, which is very vata, okay? Now you may say, well, I don't fit with all of this, but with some of these points. And that is because everyone is a combination. And you can figure out the percentage of what you are and what is more dominant to figure out your imbalances, okay? Personality, artistic, creative, spiritual, organized, energetic, enthusiastic. This is when they're in balance. So what happens when they're not? They're nervous, impatient, fearful, worried about everything, restless, and happens to be the most self-destructive of all of the body types.
Oops.
What do they like to do? They like to travel. They love to dance. Yeah, dance the dance, right? I love that, Kapacha, from your report. And running, you know, swimming, all these kind of like active sports. They're a networker, a healer, and a communicator. Okay, so when they're in balance, they're wonderful people, like everybody. Now we're going to talk about Pitta. Very medium build. Okay, speech, they like to convince you of things. They can be argumentative. They're great debaters. The skin is usually freckly, moist. They can have acne and moles. Their hair is blonde or red, brown, usually receding hairline, early gray. The eyes are blue or green, usually piercing. Sleep, very colorful dreams. These guys have a lot of fun at night. Personality, when they're balanced, they're friendly, open-minded, independent, competitive, passionate, and very courageous. But when they're out of balance, demanding, self-centered, manipulative, obsessive, arrogant, reactive, and resentful. Okay, so if you see that you might be one of these dosha and you start seeing these things happening to you all of a sudden, then you have to ask yourself, well, what am I doing wrong? Maybe one of my flows is off. Did I check my transits, right? And look at that mirror to figure out what you can do, okay? They love to create. They love sports and politics. And they're the visionaries, the planners, and the leaders. How about the Kapha dosha? Physically, they're quite stocky build. Their speech is slow, and they're excellent listeners. Their skin is thick, smooth, soft, and moist. Their hair is thick, black, and wavy. The eyes are usually quite large and usually black. Sleep, they don't have a lot of dreams. Heavy, romantic, if they do. Personality and balance. Sensitive, nurturing, patient, generous, compassionate, and very reliable. But when they're out of balance, possessive, greedy, lazy, controlling, depressed, needy, and secretive. They love to take walks in the gardens, in nature. They love to read. They love to garden. In their social behavior, they're supporters, they're providers, and they're the excellent parents. Okay, so going back to Ayurveda, and more generally speaking, modern life is this chronic mismanagement of time and space. And that's because most of us work and we have to hustle. But this undermines our health and creates stress. So when you go to an Ayurvedic retreat, you're really like, if you will, your angels and guides are like just picking you up out of your daily routine and putting you somewhere else where you're going to take care of yourself and not deal with this. Your time is going to be carefully managed by us. Ayurveda works best as prevention. So if you already have a very strong, heavy disease, like cancer stage 4, it probably won't cure you, although it can improve your condition. This is more about not getting cancer in the first place, okay? The healing is through lifestyle, food, spices, and herbs. And each dosha needs specific foods to balance. And how does it work? We balance the tastes: sweet, salty, sour, bitter, astringent, and pungent. I can tell you, as having a bit of a vata imbalance most of the time when I'm not careful, I had not eaten salt for like maybe 15 years because I got on this thing that salt was bad for you. And as soon as I got to the summaterum, the doctor said, "You're not eating salt. You have to eat some salt every day, good sea salt." I started eating it and a whole bunch of problems went away. Can you imagine? I had never thought, right? I thought salt was bad for you. But it turns out not in small quantities. So as you can see here, how do you balance the dosha with food? So this is again out of my research. This is not all that there is, but this gives you a nice flavor of what you can do. Okay, if you're getting a vata imbalance, and we looked at some of the character traits, sweet, salty, and sour are going to be the tastes you need to balance. And the foods that you can use to do that are cooked roots, your soups, herbal teas, ginger, avocados. Actually, vatas should be eating an avocado every single day. Remember that dry skin? This does wonders for you. Asparagus, the most neutral food, I should say the most alkaline food that you can actually eat. Right. Radishes, green beans, mangoes. Mangoes put you in a good mood too. Cinnamon, lemongrass, nutmeg, which is wonderful for that insomnia too. And thyme is very potent. Okay. Carpaccio, you trying to say something there?
No, I'm sinking down in the couch.
Okay. Right. Pitta, sweet, bitter, astringent. So these are the people that need to get your coconut water regularly. Green salads, grains, sprouts, seeds, broccoli, kale, cucumbers, sweet potatoes, cauliflower, the dates, zucchini, pears, oats, mangoes again, peaches, basil, fennel, cumin, and I think there is a couple more things, but I can't read it on my slide. Oh yeah, mint and parsley, delicious. Kapha, bitter, pungent, astringent. So again, salads, whole grains, spices, so we're talking about the chilies too. Citrus, asparagus, arugula, broccoli, bok choy, spinach, squash, corn, apricots, black beans, allspice, coriander, rosemary, and vanilla. And these are the things that are going to start putting you in balance. And the nice thing about going to a place like the Somaterum is that they're going to be cooking all the different dosha balancing meals at every meal. And those are all labeled. And your doctor's going to tell you what you need to be sure that you get. And they also do special things for individuals in the kitchen in case we have something we really need to work on. So it's a very special opportunity to have that. Okay, somehow. There we go. So we're going to be doing the major, if you will, healing process, which is called Panchakarma. Okay, that is composed of two areas. First, the cleanse to get rid of all the toxins that we've been accumulating, but also emotional level. There's cellular memory is a very big thing. And these ladies, and we're going to have two therapists each, these ladies have these huge like cheesecloths full of these incredible freshly prepared herbs that they rub on your body dry before they put oils on you that just get out this layer of cellular memory, which is so totally incredible. I mean, having experienced it in it is something you're just going, I could never have imagined this was going to work like this. And then also, you know, mental, through going through that conditioning, getting rid of those layers, right? Rejuvenation, called rasayana, uses also different herbs and diet, goes through your lifestyle. You know, we're going to be doing a lot of yoga and meditation, and it refills your energy reserves. Oops. I'm having a problem with my seeing everything here, but it's okay. What it's going to do is improve the immune system. Just a note on immune system, Vata has the weakest immune system, Pitta a little better, and Kapha normally by nature has a very strong immune system, okay? So if you notice that, you may also say, you know, there's a Vata imbalance here if your immune system is going down. There's also specific disease manifestations for each of the doshas as well. It'll calm your mind, give you confidence. You'll feel in strong mental health, not falling into depression, improve the skin, rebuilds the energy, and of course, through balancing the doshas. Rejuvenation is a way of going beyond balance and also replenishing your energies, you know, down from the organs and all of our systems, and just becoming more youthful and happier with yourself, right? One of the great yogis of our time right now, who's still with us, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar from the Art of Living School in India. He tells people, you want to go out there and heal the world, but you haven't spent any time on yourself. Get it together first, and then you will be surprised with that energy and that example, how you can really do something good in this world. Okay, so that's the bit that I'm going to speak about Ayurveda for now. We're going to talk a lot more about Ayurveda, obviously, in India. And there'll also be lectures from the doctors who are there at the Somaterum as well for our group that we have organized. One of the things that Kaipachi and I are doing is we're going to be holding a mystery school. And we're going to be talking about some spiritual topics. I have quite a bit of experience in channeling. It just kind of came naturally to me. There are different ways of channeling. Mediumship is probably one of the oldest known ways of channeling that we have experienced, especially around the turn of the century in the 1800s. And so there are quite a lot of very famous mediums. Today, there's a famous medium called Nan Umagar, who's in India. And I was fortunate enough to take 21 classes with her. And she taught me how to do automatic writing, of which I've had some incredible experiences and gotten some incredible messages. And we can talk more about that, as well. Another area that's been used by shamans around the world, and every shaman that I've ever speak to has a very close relationship with their spirit guides. And these are not necessarily people that have passed. These are dimensional beings. These are people that can come from other dimensions and other universes as well. I call them people that can be animal spirits. They can be, if you will, just completely phenomena, energies, if you will, that can communicate with you. And they do. And then there's intuition, which falls together with this. But it might not be the same person that has spirit guides or has a mediumship capability, but they trust in the universe. And through meditation, and especially, I think Kaipacha mentioned, the Kundalini meditations on the magnetic field are incredible for intuition. And I've been practicing them for over 20 years. And I can tell you, they really work. I have to tell you a little short story. 24 hours before 9/11, I felt like a tidal wave was going to hit me, an energy tidal wave. I got on a plane at 8 p.m. to Zurich, Switzerland, even though everyone in my company thought I was crazy. I was a CEO at the time. I had lots of meetings. I got on a plane. I said, I'm sorry, I cannot stay here in the United States. I'm out. Got on a plane. I arrived in Zurich 10 minutes before it happened. And then Swiss Air, which I flew, went bankrupt, and I ended up spending a month there. Hey, all my meetings were canceled anyways. That's what trusting in the universe is about. We are able to act on our intuition and believe what we're feeling, which is the second part, which is visualizing and feeling energy flows. Now, maybe you see auras, maybe you don't, but maybe you feel the energy, and getting in touch with how do your senses pick this up. Maybe it's a dream. There are many different ways. And we're going to be exploring all this in much more detail during the Mystery School, along with the other topics that I'm going to be speaking about. Okay, I know many of you have probably some questions and things, and you're free also to write me emails afterwards if you don't get your question answered right away. Okay, I'm going to move on here and pass the ball to Kaipacha. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment here then.
Wow. There you go. Well, thank you. I believe that I am a Vata Pitta.
Yeah, I think we both are.
Yeah. So I'm very much looking forward to this journey, to cleansing, and like you said, I didn't even know that, like a weak immune system. I think I do. I am very sensitive, and that's part of being the channeling and the mediumship. Is you've got this, you know, you don't have the boundaries and the walls and the Saturn third dimensional ego, you know, so powerful and strong. It's a, and that has its advantages and its disadvantages. Yeah. I mean, and we can look also at the chart in terms of, you know, the planetary energies that have to do with these different, you know, with the different aspects of Ayurveda. And
exactly. I mean, Kaipacha, I've been just so dreaming about that, to have you look at these characteristics and say, wow, that sounds like this kind of chart.
Yeah. At the time of this journey, okay, we've got Jupiter and Venus in Scorpio, trining over to Neptune in Pisces, and Chiron in Pisces, Saturn conjunct the galactic center. So the timing for this event is just like so much about, first of all, Scorpio, this Jupiter, Venus in Scorpio, is depth, inner transformation that is shamanic in nature, that is cleansing and releasing. I mean, Scorpio has to do with excretion, you know, and getting rid of you know, all the toxins and all the energy and all the, you know, even negativity, right? Yeah. I mean, we can cleanse our magnetic field. And then this trine over there to, you know, Neptune and Pisces, that is channeling. That
Yeah.
is opening up to the multi-dimensional self, to the spirit self, to the heart-based love connection. I mean, whoa, it's just like I'm really super excited about this. And the other timing that I wanted to mention, of course, is Saturn. This will be the third pass where Saturn has, and I just did a video in this for the New Paradigm community, but Saturn square Chiron. It started last year, actually, around December, and it's coming and it's doing its active all of 2017. And Saturn goes retrograde, goes direct like late August, and goes back over the galactic center, back over for the third final square to Chiron in Pisces. And this Chiron in Pisces is about healing the wound of separation from the web of life, from source, from the matrix, from however you want to, from Gaia, however you want to look at it. And so it's like, you know, the timing of our journey is just like this, you know, this 2-week cleanse. And I hope and I know, I think you're going to tell us more about, you know, the whole journey here, Fatih.
Yeah, we're going to look at that in a moment.
Okay. You know, I am so ready for this because I feel like this year has been so much business and so much busyness and so much, you know, and the ego does that, right? You know, it like keeps us in this third dimension, you know, going and charging and committing and, you know, really like grounding. And it's just like, you know what, I want to go to India. And I want to, you know, drip oil on my head and do a cleanse and have these doctors look at me and open those channels again and just like really feel that connection. And so, you know, what I'm going to be bringing to this journey, to this trip, you know, I mean, you know, Fateh is going to be bringing all about the diet and the food and the cleanse, and we're going to be, you know, with doctors and massage therapists and everybody doing this whole fantastic cleanse. And then I want to really be bringing in, like I said, the astrology of channeling and the astrology of the chakras. And I think we're really going to look a lot, right, at the crown. We'll look at the third eye, but I'd like to go through all 7. And I would like to bring in the emotional nature, the Kundalini yoga kriyas, all of the different, you know, movements, the pranayama, the mantras, the right sounds, the right breathing, and the right movement, along with the right diet and the right massage and meditation. And woo, I mean, it's like, I feel like this is just gonna, heck, man, I am ready to take off, you know, anyway. But I see it looks like Fateh took off. Oh no. I hope you guys are still there. We got some viewers on there? So anyway, what I can do is I'm going to share my screen here for a little bit, you know, because you know, I just finished with this astrology rising, and you know, I talked about Jeffrey Wolf Green, and he is the frickin' man that brought forward what? Yeah, to me, the chakra connections. Okay, this is so amazing. Let me see if I can. I don't know, man. Can you guys? I want to make this sucker the full screen. Come on. I hope I don't mess this up. No. Anyway. I want. Anyway, look at this. Look at this. The crown chakra. If we want to channel, if we want to open to spirit, we want to work with our Neptune. Neptune, my friends. We're going to be looking at Neptune. Neptune is now in Pisces. It rules Pisces. That makes it very strong in Pisces. And so many people are opening up and some are losing it. So you can also like open up too far and excarnate. So we really want to like, become aware of this crown chakra, aware of Neptune in our charts. And I mean, I've got Neptune square the sun. I need to be careful with Neptune. Neptune is also all forms of addiction. And this is tobacco, alcohol, ayahuasca, drugs, sex, movies, books, work. Yes, anything that kind of gets, that fills this need that we all have, this longing to fill ourselves, since we have been kind of kicked out of heaven into these physical bodies. We can feel separated and isolated from source, and this is a Neptune affliction. And we want to escape, and we want to go back to the womb, or we want to go back to love and light, and we can't hold a job, and we can't make a commitment, and we're all in the crown chakra, and we've got nothing in the root chakra. So we want to balance, right? The 7th with the 1st. We want to really come in with this whole thing, yeah? And then we want to look at the nodes. Just when the North Node went into Leo, okay? So here we are, 6th chakra, sun and moon. Let's keep those in balance, okay? Leo and Cancer. We come down to the throat. So I'm going to be looking at our charts. Look at where your Mercury is. What have you got in Gemini? What have you got in Virgo? How is your throat? Your communication, your truth telling, or betrayal, or people lying or hiding things from you. Really, we want to look at, yeah, each one of these chakras. And of course, we're going to mostly be working with the heart. Because like that's what it's all about, baby. Yeah. So we've got this Venus happening here. Where's your Libra? Where's your Taurus? What's going on? Jupiter is now in Libra, but it's like I say, by the time of our journey, it's going to be in Scorpio. Are you in your power? Is your navel, chakra happening? Mars and Pluto, Aries and Scorpio. We're going to be in definitely big time in our power. Oh, shit, look at what I did. Come back here, man. What do you think this is? I'm talking. But look at this, yeah? I said, even, the sun is still there, right? Around the 20th of November. And sun goes into Sag, but Jupiter and Venus in Scorpio. Navel chakra, okay? Pluto, Mars. Look at, we'll see where these are in your natal chart. Mars is moving through Libra at the time of our journey. It's going to be opposing Uranus, squaring Pluto. This is going to be like, I don't know, man. A lot of power flying around. Yeah. And then, of course, the 2nd chakra, Jupiter, Neptune, Sagittarius, Pisces, Saturn in Sagittarius, squaring Chiron in Pisces. So we're going to really look at the dynamics of what's going on in our whole creative, sexual energy, Jupiter, Neptune chakra. And if we're going to open up the crown, we've got to keep down in our root. Uranus, Saturn, Pluto. So keep it together. Keep it on. Now, I think I've got, I don't know, man. Fate's computer crashed. Big lightning struck. So she's going to get back on pretty soon. I love it, man. You never know what the frickin' heck is going to happen here. All right. I want to stop sharing about those chakras. Okay. Yeah. You guys got to come to this. After this 2-week thing with Fateh, I'm doing another week of like solid astrology, Kundalini yoga. It's up in Goa. I want to give everybody a little bit of a discount if you're going to do both of these. If you want to go to India for 3 weeks of like intensive opening, cleansing, clearing. Fateh is back. Yeah, baby.
All right.
Did that happen to you last time too? I think.
Yes, it did. And there was a lightning, you know, where I am in the south of Costa Rica. It's raining pretty hard out there. So, okay.
Great. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
I was just sharing my screen a little bit. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen.
Okay, you go ahead. I get my stuff, find my stuff again.
Okay. All right. Because then I want to look at, not that really. Well, I could look at that, but where is I think this is a Word document that I want to share with you guys. Yeah. And this is the other thing that I want to be working on. I'm going to be working on it. You know, I am working on it this whole time, but it is a chakra assessment. And this is having to do with the root chakra. So when we're looking at the root chakra, we're not just looking at your chart or planets or your Vata, Pitta, your Ayurveda. We're also looking at your emotional body. There are emotions tied in with, okay, each one of the chakras. And we really want to be looking at, you know, not only the pranayama and the kundalini, but we can look at all these different chakras that are really going to give us more. Yeah, let's see here. The first chakra, if you're in pain or bliss, your boundaries. Yeah, are you easily invaded or are you rigid? Do you have a fear of death? Or do you have a secret death wish? I know people told me when I crashed my motorcycle 3 times in a row, you've got a death wish. Anyway, yeah, so this is root chakra. Second chakra, right? Come on in there. Yeah, it has to do with satisfaction, indulgence, whether you're calm or not. You see how we can really be tying together our diet and our food, like spicy food, okay, is the Pitta kind of energy. It's this choleric energy if you look at the temperaments, okay, and then the Vata, okay, you know, you can really be looking at all of these emotional body along with the physical body. So we want to be just really coming into alignment with our physical body, our emotional body, our astral body, which we're going to identify with and through our astrology chart, and move that and open up the Sushumna, open up all these channels, okay, to really bring us into this open, open, open. Here we have, these are the upper chakras here. Here's your 7th chakra. If you are feeling in oneness, are you in peace? Are you, you know, clarity? Do you have clarity in your life? Or are you like freaking confused about things or not? Unconditional love. And that's different than, is it really super conditional? I want my partner to do ba 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 ba, or be this or that or the other thing, or never do that or never do this or that. Or are you, you know, into this martyrdom, abusive relationships where, you know, it's like, you know, you've got no boundaries happening? Sympathy. Do you feel connected to spirit? You feel limitless? Yeah. So that we want to keep all of these. You can have these things too open where you like shoot out, or you can have it too closed where you're not getting that feeling of ultimate connection. So, you know, this is what this journey is about. It's going to be just like what I can say is on every level. You know, we're going to be working with the whole human being, spirit, mind, emotional, physical, and we're going to just like clear it, cleanse it, clean it, open it, and boo! I mean, I'm looking for, like I say, Scorpio is death and resurrection. We can go on this journey with an intention that we are going to let go. Scorpio is let go. When Jupiter is in Scorpio, it's going to be there for a year. From October of 17 to October of 18, Jupiter through Scorpio. If you want to evolve, do Jupiter. So when Jupiter is in Scorpio, do Scorpio. And that is humble yourself, surrender, trust, go into the deeper mysteries behind the veil, behind the surface, get down into the deepest recesses of your consciousness, of your soul, of your sexuality, of your relationships, of like the juice. And this is like the descent of Inanna into the underworld. You get naked, you get raw, you get exposed, you get opened up, you get cleansed, where you are absolutely vulnerable, naked, and exposed, and then you resurrect, then you ascend, then you return, only you're not the same. Okay, you have just like really tapped into, okay, the deepest power. Scorpio is about power. So we are going to return from this journey. We are going to return from this trip. And it may be scary going in, and you've got to let go of your fears, and you've got to let go of some money, and you've got to let go of your job or your partner or your whatever, and you got to get on that plane, and you've got to commit to like transformation. And when you do all that, what is it, you know? I think even Christ said, ask and you shall receive, seek and it shall be shown unto you. Let he who has ears, let him hear. It's like when you open and you freaking go for it, you come back, man, and you are a healer. This is the other side of Scorpio. You are a healer. You are a therapist. You are a shaman. You are a medium. You are a channel. You know, it's like you've been there. And you know yourself, and you know truth, and you know what your client needs, and you know what other people need, and you are tapped in. So, frickin' A, man. This is going to be so great, Fateh. I am really excited about this. Maybe you've got more to share with people about
okay, I have some specifics. Yeah, I have some specifics about the Soma theorem and what we'll be doing there, what's all included. So shall I put that back? Should I put that on now? Okay, Pachi?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, let's get this up here.
I got you, Tamra. She's been on a massive let go journey since January. Yeah, baby. I'm dreading Jupiter in my Scorpio.
Here we go.
Well, Jupiter, Derek, Jupiter is a totally different story than Saturn in Scorpio. We all dreaded Saturn in Scorpio. It was 2.5 years, right? You know, what was October of 12? I think it went in there, you know, 12 and 13 and 14. It's like, oh my God. But Jupiter, Saturn is contraction and constriction and boundaries and grief and laws and rules. Jupiter is like, blow the lid off, man. Yeah, I mean, it's good times. It's good sex. It's good connection. It's good emotional bonding. Okay, here comes Fateh.
Okay.
You got it. If you can do a more of a
There
full
we go.
screen. Yeah.
Okay, so in selecting this particular place in India, there are a lot of things that went into play. I've been going there several times now, so I know the people very well. And one of the main reasons was that it is the, if you will, has the most awards of all the resorts in India. And they're very serious about keeping their reputation. The management is a mixture of Indian and German. In fact, you'll find that they speak 3 or 4 different languages there in the reception and the help. And so it's very interesting. Most of the people that go there are from Europe, okay? You get a real personalized attention there. You're gonna get a doctor of whom you're gonna see that person every day for the whole time. And you'll get 2 therapists each. And those therapists will be with you the whole time. So they really get to know you, and they really add this extra attention in caring for you. There are over 30 different Ayurvedic treatments that they do there. And it gives you access to some of the best doctors in India, because it's quite a prestigious place for them to work if they're an Ayurvedic doctor. And the balancing is going to take different types of therapies. And so you'll have the diet, of course, and it'll be a different diet the first week of the cleanse than it will be in the rejuvenation as well. There's steam baths and all kinds of herbal formulas. And I can't tell you how incredible these are. Of course, everybody knows about the Shirdara, where they pour the oil over your head in the forehead to open the 3rd eye area. But they also have, you know, where they put different kinds of herbal oils in different patterns over your body simultaneously, which is just totally incredible. They do forehand massages usually. And they'll also give you different kinds of rejuvenation masks as well. So it's really fantastic. It's 13 nights, and the retreat is right on the Arabian Sea. Actually, they have their own little private area, which is very beautiful. There's also a little chapel on the end of some rocks right at the Somateram. You'll see the doctor daily. You're going to have your treatment daily. Your Ayurvedic meals are all provided for. And you can also come in for snacks and things too. They're very, very open with that. And you can come anytime and get a freshly opened coconut, which I did quite often when I was there. The yoga that is offered there is going to be in 3 levels, offered simultaneously twice a day, and it's from the Art of Living School. They do daily pranayama, chakra meditation class every day, and we've also organized to have a Hindu priest come and do a special puja just for our group as well, which is going to be wonderful, which will be on the full moon. We're going to be offering the mystery school, so each Kaipach and I will be giving 4 different lectures. We'll be also getting lectures from the Somateram in Ayurvedic cooking and in Ayurveda itself. There'll be nightly cultural entertainment, so they play all kind of fantastic music and everything. And we're going to also have a tour, a half-day tour into the backwaters of Kerala, the very beautiful tropical environment. Your transfers are included and all the taxes are included. So we've taken care of all of these details for you.